average is 1460. Results are there on the brochure on our website. Okay, every 33% of our students score 1500 plus on the SAT. Now, let's understand what is the scoring on the SAT, how much is required for the universities. So 1600 is what the exam is out of. 1500 or above is the 99th percentile score on the SAT. The moment you score 1500 or above, in your report card it shows 99th percentile. Now, unlike our Indian system like IIMs and all 99.2, 99.3, that doesn't happen. Everyone above 1500 they say 99th percentile. What do you mean when I say 99th percentile? What is the meaning of that? That the child has scored 99th percentile? You scored better than 99% of the students who took the exam globally, not in India, in the world. So 1500 is the 99th percentile score on the SAT. 1450 is the 97th percentile score on the SAT. 1400 is the 95th percentile score on the SAT. So 1400, would you prefer this to be switched off? Yes. Right? Yeah. Please switch it off. This is okay. Why did you switch it off? So 1400 is the 95th percentile. 1450 is the 97th percentile. But 1500 plus, I say, is the golden score if we need to get admissions in top 10 colleges of the US. If your aim is Ivy Leagues, UIUC, UT Austin, Michigan Ann Arbor, these kind of colleges, Carnegie Mellon, Georgia Tech, of course I'm not naming the Stanford, Harvard, which are very obvious. We need a SAT score of close to 1500 or above on the SATs, okay? Higher the SAT score, better your chances of getting into some of the elite US universities. 20% weightage is suited on the SATs, okay? So our program, I'll explain, we have two modules, how we go about it. One, which is, you see a guarantee 1500 plus, I'll explain what this is, and this is the first time we are launching this program today. I am going to announce this. So we have two modules, one is a small group setting and one is one-on-one SAT tutoring. They give you a diagnostic test at the beginning. If you score a 1350 or above on my diagnostic, which is there on our website, but if you have taken it once, then I'll give you second. So basically, if it's a score of 1350 or above on the SAT, we guarantee that we will get you a 1500 plus on the SAT. The question is how? This will be a one-on-one tutoring, customized to, looking at your mock scores, we will be able to customize which chapters you have gone wrong and all that. Do a tailor-made program for you, do one-on-one tutoring for 60 to 70 hours, and then make you do those 15 mocks, get ready for the exam. What happens if you get a 1460, sir? You guaranteed 1500, but I got a 1460. Now what? We take it on us to prepare you for the second time again, looking at what went wrong on the first attempt, and there is no additional cost for that. Again, we will support you with one-on-one tutoring, with additional mocks, but we will try to get it wrapped up in the first attempt. It's on us to wrap it up on the first attempt. So we'll give it 200% to make sure we are wrapping it up on the first time. Something goes wrong on the exam day, you do not score 1500, we take you back again, give you additional one-on-one tutoring, additional mock tests, additional support, and again prepare you for the second attempt or the third attempt until you get a 1500 plus on the SAT. So that's our guarantee program we are talking about. So that's a one-on-one module basically. The second is the normal group. Look, before this, till until today we were running in groups of 10 and trying to optimize the cost for the parents. But here we have taken a conscious decision, we are not going to make any more groups more than 5 students anymore. Okay, we want to make it niche, small groups, so that cost-wise it works for you as well. And we are able to focus on each child properly and deliver the same thing what we are delivering on the one-on-one stuff. It's just that there will be 5 key students in the class. Okay, and the timings will be fixed here in a group setting. Timings will be fixed. You will get similar teachers whether you take one-on-one or group. There is no compromise on the quality. It's just that this will be fixed timings. One-on-one we can play around with your flexibility, but groups will be fixed timings in a group of 5. And the prep time will still be 4-5 months and all. What happens if you don't score a 1500 on the first attempt? Second attempt again we will support you, but again it will be in small groups only that we will be able to do those additional classes, additional mocks and all that. Okay, so these are the two modules that we have for our SAT classes. More details after the session you can check with Jay and Saloni. I'll introduce you to my team. This is how we will prepare you for the SATs. Okay. Next, but guys, I'll tell you something. Okay, some students think, okay, first time let me try. I want to see how it is. If you want to try it in 10th grade. Okay. Don't try in the beginning of 11th. Then you come and say, now we want. What happens is the entire timelines will go for a toss. You will understand how much needs to be done. The catch is we have limited time and we need to do everything together in that stipulated time to make sure we have ticked all the boxes. Okay, so that's all about the SAT, guys. If any questions, I'll take it at the end. Let's move to the next section, which is the advanced placement exam. How many of you in the room have actually taken the APs? Anyone who has taken the APs? Okay, one student has taken. Anyone else who has taken the APs? No one? How many of you have heard of this exam? That AP exists? Okay, many of you have heard, almost 70%, but takers are very few. Let us understand what is AP, how is it different from SAT, and what is the necessity of taking another exam. AP stands for Advanced Placement Exam. This exam is conducted by the same organization which conducts the SAT, which is the College Board. But unlike SAT, which happens 8 times a year, the Advanced Placement Exam happens only once a year in the month of May. Okay, it actually happens twice in the month of May. They give you first week of May and third week of May dates to choose. You can pick either of the 2 dates. But for now, let's say that it happens once a year in the month of May. What are these AP courses? In one sentence, I'll define this entire exam. AP courses are college level courses which are meant to be taught during college first year. But there is a provision that high school students can study this course and take the exam. And if you end up scoring a 4 or a 5 out of 5 on your APs, you do not need to take the exam when you go to college first year. Or you do not need to study that subject when you go to college first year. In short, something which is meant to be taught in college first year, you are trying to attempt the same subject as a high school student and trying to get a 4 or a 5 out of 5. This exam is scored out of 5 points. Now, the question before us is, why do we do this? Why do I study a college level course when I am a high school student? Guys, AP is one way to demonstrate your academic credibility. To show the college that look, something which was meant to be taught during college first year, I attempted as a grade 9 or a grade 10 student and I cracked that exam. Hence, I am ready for the academic rigor of the college. Okay? Now, unfortunately in our country, if you see, especially if you are in CBSE, ISC and all that, lakhs of students score 90% plus on the exam. 85%, 90%. I don't know how many lakh students score. How do colleges in fact differentiate between two students? Who's more academically more credible versus the other, right? So you can treat APs as something like Olympiads. We do Olympiads, we do these outside exams to show we want to compete in a national or international environment, right? APs is one way to demonstrate your academic credibility more compared to the rest. Students who are in CBSE, ISC curriculum, guys, without APs, getting into a top 20 college is almost impossible in the US if you do not have AP courses under your belt. Okay, now I am specifically telling CBSE, ISC and not IB A level. I am going to explain how. By default, every IB A level student has 3 APs in their profile. Whether you know this or you don't know this. How is our IB kids having 3 APs? How? A lot of 10th graders who are going to 11th and IB. How are IB kids by default having 3 APs? Anyone? Anyone? True. IB HL are treated equivalent to an AP course. So when you go to 11th and 12th grade IBDP, your HLs of the IB are treated equivalent to an AP. If you take say math, physics and economics at IB HL, you need not take AP calculus, AP physics and AP economics in college first year because they treat your IB HL to be equivalent to an AP course provided you get a 6 or a 7 out of 7 in your IBDP final exams of 12. If you do not get, they'll tell you to repeat the same thing again in college first year. But if you get a 7 on 7 in math HL, in college first year you can skip the AP calculus course of the college. Now, same thing happens with A-level students also. The only catch with A-level is your A-level math is not treated equivalent to AP calculus. It's the A-level further math which is treated equivalent to AP calculus. So, okay, that's the only difference. Otherwise, A-level physics, A-level economics is treated equivalent to an AP course. 90% of the colleges will give you credits if you are a IB, HL or your A-level student. Okay? Now, so question which comes is, should IB A-level kids then do APs or not? IB A-level kids should do AP if you are scoring very well in your school curriculum and you can take subject outside the HLs what you are going to take in your 11th or 12th. Do not take the same AP what you are going to take in your 11th HL. For instance, I will give you an example. Say you want to pursue computer science in college. How many of you actually want to pursue computer science? We are in Bangalore, come on. 30% of our crowd wants to do CS and AI. Okay? So, if say you want to do computer science in college and you have taken maths, physics, chemistry in your IB, but you have not taken computer science as a subject in IB, take a AP computer science. Take a AP statistics, right? Which you are not going to take as part of your HL. What happens? You get credits for your HLs and you get credits for the APs. Okay? Now, how getting credits helps? There are two advantages of doing APs. One, this is for the student, the first advantage. The second is for the parent. Which will then after this session, most parents will then force their children to take APs because of the second advantage. I'll tell you. So the first advantage is which the student should take to their advantage. APs helps you to get admission in top colleges. This is one way to demonstrate that you took up college level courses in your high school, you challenged yourself more than others and you aced it and you will be ready for the rigor of the college. For parents, it helps you to save 50-60 lakh rupees in college admission, in college fees. How? By doing APs, you get college credits, which means you can finish your undergrad in 3 years instead of 4 if you have college credits equivalent to 5 AP subjects. Okay? So if you're an IB kid, you know 3 HLs are there or 3 A-levels are there. Can I do another 2 more APs? I get credits for 5 subjects. On an average, in a year you study 8 subjects in college. You already have credits for 5 subjects. That additional 2-3 subjects can be taken any time, in any of the semesters extra, and you can finish your undergrad degree in 3 years instead of 4. I am proudly saying, guys, almost, I don't know how many kids, at least from QFS, finish their undergrad in 3 years instead of 4. All the bright ones do. They finish their undergrad in 3 years because of the credits that they have secured by doing these APs. You have one chance every year to do APs. Those who are in grade 9, you have this May, unfortunately the registrations are over. So if you are if you just finished grade 10, you have only one chance, which is next year May. But say you are going to 10th, then you have 2 chances, or going to 9th you have 3 chances, depending. Every year May you get one chance to do these APs. Okay? So 2 advantages. Guys, focus on the first one, which is to get the college admission. पैसे बचे नहीं बचे वो पेरेंट्स का है, अपना पहले एडमिशन सिक्योर होना चाहिए. So my priority is to make sure that we secure a top seat in a top college, for which we need to do APs. Byproduct advantages, because we get college credits, we need not take that subject in college first year. It will help us finish our undergrad in 3 years instead of 4, which means I am only going to end up paying for 3 years tuition fees and not 4-year tuition fees. So which saves 1 year cost of US education today is around 60 to 70 lakh rupees, including living, staying and all that. And you can save this entire money, for your parents. Those who are in CBSE, ISC, I have students this year who have already got admissions. They are in grade 12, got admissions, but still doing APs in May, so that they can get those credits and help their father or mother to save on some of the fees. Okay? So that's the advantage. There are 38 courses to choose from. You have APs in calculus, physics, chemistry, biology, statistics, economics, world history, US history, human geography, environmental studies, computer science. There is a list. We will help you identify the right subject for you, which APs you should do. First of all, you should do or not. You should only do APs when you are scoring very well in your school curriculum and you can take that extra load. It should not be like you are scoring 75 in school, sir, AP karna, and then you start scoring 65. That will be a disaster for you. You do APs when you know you are scoring above 90 in school. I have extra time, I can pick up 1 or 2 more subjects. So we'll only encourage you to take APs when you are like in IGCSE, you think you are a 6, 7, A star, A, take up 1 more subject, good. But if you are B's, C's, D's, and फिर सर एक सब्जेक्ट और ले आइए, ऐसे नहीं होगा. पहले वो करो ना जो core curriculum में है, get those A's and A stars, then take that extra plunge if you want to do it. Otherwise, don't take it as a compulsion that you need to do APs. 60 60% weightage is still on your core academics. AP weightage on the profile would just be say around 2 to 5%, but more so for the CBSE ISE compared to the IB and A-level students. Now, don't be in this impression that colleges value CBSE ISE lesser than A-level or IB. That's not how it works. IB and A-levels are more globally recognized curriculums. You know, more than 50-60 countries are doing IB or A-level. When they see the textbooks of IB A-level compared to their AP textbooks, they see similarity in the curriculum, hence they are awarding credits. But they can't go around checking every single board of every single country to check whether it matches to AP or not and should be award credits or not. So it's not like they are devaluing our CBSE, ISE or PU system or overvaluing that. It's not like that, but it's because IB A-levels are more standardized across the world. They have seen the textbook, they feel it's equivalent, and hence they are giving credits for that. Okay? Okay, so this is all about APs, guys. Benefits of AP: to get college credits before having AP, demonstrates the college that you can do college level courses, helps students discover their academic passions. Sometimes you want to explore a subject in grade 9 what you have not taken at school. Say I want to see how's economics, how's psychology. Is that the major that I want to pursue in college? Go ahead and take up AP psychology or AP economics in 9th and see whether you like it or not. There are certain APs which we tell not to do before grade level, which is calculus, physics, chem, bio. Do not attempt in 9th or 10th grade, because to do AP calculus, you need to know 10th grade math. Or to do AP physics, which is almost equivalent to IIT JEE physics, you need to know 10th grade physics. But all other APs do not have any prerequisite knowledge. Economics, statistics, history, geography, ESS, all of these APs, English language and composition, do not require any prerequisite knowledge from the school, and students as early as grade 9 can start attempting these APs. This year we have a count of 300 students preparing for APs. We are the largest AP prep of the entire country. 2013, I was the first one in India who started teaching APs. Back then, I had 2 kids wanting to get into Stanford. Luckily, engineer student, good in math, started teaching calculus AP to them. Okay, there were 2 students. Now I have 300 kids appearing for the APs. That's the popularity that it has gained in the last 10 years. We'll be able to help you identify the right APs and all these things. Any questions there on the APs before we take up the APs? Couple of questions. Anything else for the APs? Any questions, guys? Yeah, go ahead. Which countries? Okay, sorry, I did not cover that. AP credits are awarded worldwide except India. In Indian system, they do not give AP credits, but whether you go to US, UK, Singapore, Canada, Europe, all of them are giving credits for the APs. Now, US is the primary thing for the APs. UK does not give you credits for APs. But if you look at their website, Cambridge website says students appearing from CBSE ISE must have 5 APs to be eligible to apply to Cambridge. Otherwise, do not fill our form. That's what Cambridge website says. You can please recheck it. So for CBSE ISE kids, it's important for you to even do APs even if you want to apply to UK. UCL would need 3 APs. London School of Economics would need 3 APs. Because when you do 3 APs, they match you with A level and IB. Okay, you have 3 APs, IB, HLs, you are equivalent. It's all on the same page. That's what UK does. But US gives you credits. UK does not give you credits, but they need APs from. So if you're IB A-level student, do not do APs if you just want to apply to UK, because you have the 3 A-levels or 3 IB. Okay, but you can do APs being an IB kid if you want to apply to US to add on to your academic rigor income profile. Okay, is that okay? Even for Canada, CBSE ISE, you need to do APs if you want to get into Toronto, Waterloo, British Columbia. So it becomes more important. Think like this: we need to do 3 APs to match 3 HLs of IB or 3 A-levels of IB. Now, any other questions, guys? Let's move to the next exam. No APs. Europe has their own entrance exam. Every college will have its own entrance exam based on which they say yes or no.
So even a SAT or is also not that?
Yeah, we will come to that. I have slides for European universities, so I'll explain. Okay. Yeah. Last question. Then we move. Yeah. Next May.
So then the that is.
Yeah, this is your one chance to play. All 3 should be done in May. 3 or 4 or 5. I have kids who are giving 4 or 5 APs.
So that's separate is like choosing for maths physics platform. physics and other subjects should be given.
Should be given.
Other option.
No other option. So how the timeline works? Start your SAT prep now. Wrap up your SAT by August. Then around October is when we start our AP prep. October to May AP goes. That is why these timelines are very important to be followed so that it does not overlap. So you need to do everything in that stipulated time because everyone has only 18 months or say 30 months to do everything. It's just the start here. There is a lot more to be covered as well. Okay. The last question. Ma'am, we need APs. NUS Singapore says 3 APs, please do 4. Because they say 3 APs, all 3 should be 5 on 5. So if you do 4 APs and one of them is a 4, they are okay. But if you do 3, then they need all 3 5 on 5. Okay, let's move. The next exam is the TMUA, Test of Mathematics for University Admissions. Okay, before last year, UK did not have a standardized test. They were only taking admissions based on your CBSE finals or your IB predicted scores. But last year they have come up, they have said, okay, they have SAT, we will also come up with something. They have come up with their own exam which is called the Test of Mathematics for University Admission. Students wanting to get into economics, computer science or math major have to appear for TMUA for these colleges. Other than these colleges, they don't have any entrance requirement, just go through your IELTS score and the CBSE or your IB score. But if you want to get into these 7 UK universities, you need to give this test of mathematics if you want to get into economics, computer science or math major. Catch is, the exam happens once a year and you are only allowed to take the exam while you are in grade 12. The score is only valid for that year. Okay? This year the dates have been announced. The exam is 7th or 8th of October. It's a Saturday, Sunday. The first week of October is the TMUA exam. It's called Test of Mathematics for University Admission. Level of difficulty of the exam is one level above IB Math AAHL but one level below IIT JEE Mains. Which means IIT JEE Mains is 2 level above IB Math AAHL. This is one level above IB Math AAHL. The Test of Mathematics for University Admissions. Okay, 2 sections are there in the exam. They'll test you on logarithms, functions, calculus, trigonometry, mathematical induction, all those topics which are covered in grade 11 and bit of 12th grade which is the calculus part. There's another exam which which Imperial College London and UCL, 2 of them have introduced actually. For computer science, if you want to get into UCL for computer science. So UCL for economics is TMUA, but UCL for computer science, they have come up with another exam called as TARA. It was announced last week. More details will follow, what is the content and everything. But it says Test of Academic Reasoning for Admissions. This is only for 2 colleges, Imperial College London for engineering and UCL for computer science. Okay, lot more complications guys, what to do, when to do, but as you come closer to grade 12, your school will tell you, we will tell you which exam is relevant. Don't bother about it right now. You can only take this exam while you are in grade 12. Preparation time is around 3 months to prepare for this exam. Okay? Okay, so this is all about the testing part. We talked about SAT or academic requirements, AP, TMUA and all that. Now let's understand the profile. I guess for which most of you have come for the session. What exactly is it that they want in this profile? Okay? So as I had mentioned at the beginning, 20% weightage is given to your profile. Profile basically constitutes of 2 things. One is your extracurricular activities and one is your co-curricular activities. Extracurriculars are basically everything that you do outside your academics. Whether you are doing sports, music, MUNs, debates, community services, leadership positions at school, your clubs and all that, all of this is part of the extracurricular activities. Co-curriculars are everything related to the major that you want to pursue in college. Say you want to study computer science or say economics in college. One question that every college essay will ask you, why do you want to study this subject? You cannot say because I like the campus of Google, looks like they'll pay me 1.5 crores, and because majorly that is the reason. For 70-80% of us, yeah, पैसे बहुत हैं, campus भी बढ़िया है, looks like this should be the major. But this is not the answer, right? Colleges would love to see how much of this, how much was the exposure for you during your high school in this area? Is this actually an informed choice that you are making? Have you explored this subject in detail before committing to this major and before committing to this major for the life. I remember in 2008 when I had to choose what I want to study, there was a call from the parent, pehle engineering kar lo, then we will decide what, or you decide after that what you want to do. Right? That's what I think why most of us became engineers first place. But now because of choices that kids have, this is no longer relevant. Right? So colleges would love to see whether did you explore the subject enough before committing to the major. How do you show the college? The ways to demonstrate that is through your co-curricular activities, which can be demonstrated through participating, number one, in academic competitions. Guys, do try to do these Olympiads, not the SOF Olympiads which are offered at school. No one bothers about it. Which Olympiads you should do? Say Hong Kong Math Olympiad, say Singapore Math Olympiad. There is International Math Olympiad for Southeast Asia, so Philippines Math Olympiad. This is just the Math Olympiad. There is the Hippo English Olympiad, there is every subject. There is Canadian Chemistry competition coming up, there is USA Biology Olympiad coming up. Do you need to go to US or Singapore for these exams? All of these exams are offered online from your home, proctored by them. Sitting from your home, you can take these exams. These exams will have credibility because the Singapore Math Olympiad, the entire world is appearing for that exam. There, if you get a bronze or a silver or a gold, that will be valued in your college application. Trust me, if you are an AD Math student who's scoring A star in additional mathematics in IGCSE, sit for a Singapore Math Olympiad, you will get a bronze or a silver. How? 90% do not sit thinking ye kaise hoga. So they give up before itself. When I tell Singapore Math Olympiad, the first thing it will come to you is uska preparation time kitna hoga, 6 months, 8 months. Competition is very less, guys. 90% give up before even trying. So if you're very good at school level math or something, just do a couple of sample papers for these exams. 100% you will get bronze or silver. If you go ahead and prepare aggressively for this, you may end up getting gold also. So how it works for them? Anyone scoring above 95th percentile gets a gold. So you need to be in top 5% of the world to get gold, top 10% to get a silver, top 20% to get a bronze. So Indian kids, हम लोग exam लिखने में भी are good generally. So we are able to get those bronze, silver and all that. But those Olympiads will be valued in your college application. It will show the college that you're very passionate about this subject and you ended up taking these Olympiads. Again, another catch is, guys, just don't appear for one of them. You may say, okay, let me do one math Olympiad, my math box is ticked, or my Olympiad box is ticked. That will mean probably you did it for the college application. But if you do 5 Olympiads, I do Hong Kong, Singapore, jo mile main kar raha hu, then it shows the college, yeah, boss, okay, you're very passionate, you've taken so many of these exams, right? Show continuity in your college application. That will show, you're very serious about this. If you just do this tick marking, oh, I go to one NGO, I do 7 days of volunteering, okay, my community service box is ticked. Next one, oh, one Olympiad the sir is asking, कौन सा देखते हैं? एक Olympiad किया, bronze medal आया, चलो Olympiad done. आप ऐसे करोगे ना? If you do this way, they are very smart. They will know you are doing it for the college application. But if you do a community service project which extended over 6 months or 12 months, that will show the college that boss, he was very serious about this. Otherwise, you wouldn't continue it over a period of time, right? So be smart, okay? So if you have something which is your strength, go deep into that to show your college, boss, this is my passion. I am very, very passionate about this. So first way to demonstrate your co-curricular is through doing these academic competition, which I feel gets a very high weightage on the college application. Next on my list is research programs. Doing research projects has very, very high credibility in college application. Lot of parents think, Abhishek, internship चाहिए. We have this mindset कि internship करने से. Guys, colleges would know you got this internship through your father's contact or mother's contact or someone's contact, because in India, high school students will not get internship otherwise, right? How will you do? No company, go today, any company employs, not possible. They won't give you internships. It's actually for me on the lower end. For me, competition is number one to demonstrate your co-curriculars, followed by research projects. When you do research, first thing is, ultimately if you publish a paper, you must have spent 6, 8, 9 months doing that project. Otherwise, that won't come out as a paper, which shows continuity, which shows your passion, and it convinces the college that someone who has taken up research projects during high school will also take up research projects when they go to college, which means their professors are doing those research projects and you will be a help to them. You will work with these professors to do research projects during college, right? So research is given a very high weightage. Now the question is, where should one do these projects? Guys, we know institutes which are very good. There are some who are bad, which are the most marketed ones. You Google the first two names which you get, avoid. Okay? वो पैसे लेंगे, आप करो तो ठीक, नहीं करो तो खुद ही कर लेंगे, मतलब छोड़ो हम ही करके पेपर तुम्हारे नाम पे पब्लिश कर देंगे. It's not going to help. I tell you how. Why? Okay? So we know the right institutes which have tie-ups with the right professors who are doing genuine work in this field, and we will connect you to those. If you want to do computer science, I know someone who does a brilliant job. You want to do something in biology, I know someone who does a brilliant job. If you want to do economics, finance, I know someone who does a brilliant job. Right? Typically, if you want to get into those Berkeley, Georgia Tech, Carnegie, or those Ivy Leagues, have 2 or 3 research projects under your belt before you apply for college applications. Why I am asking 2 or 3? एक तो सब करने लगते हैं. You know, the moment everyone comes to know कि research करना है, एक अब सब करने लगते हैं. Now again, we are in a rat race competition world. एक तुम कर रहे हो, 2 करेंगे, तभी I'll stand out from it. Very simple. 5 years back, one research project was a brilliant thing in the profile. Now I need 2 or 3 projects, in those areas which will give you an X factor in your profile. Third one, reputed pre-college program. There's a reason I have mentioned the word reputed. Again, there are 2 types of pre-college programs. One, come pay $5,000. It's a Harvard online program. $8,000 is the cost. Now, where we fall in the trap? It's a Harvard program. Wasted. Because everyone who pays will get into that program. It will not show too much of your credibility, and ultimately it's online class. Ultimately, it will give you a certificate or you did a Harvard program. But that does not get you admissions in Harvard. But there are other programs where the acceptance rates are 10%, 15%, 5%. Let's try those programs first. Because if that goes on in your application, it shows, wow, you did a very reputed program as part of your summer program, and it adds way more credibility in your profile compared to the other part. Okay? So summer programs are basically, if you guys don't know what summer programs is, these programs are generally offered by US universities. Some of the other universities have also started offering during the summer holidays. You can either go to the US or they are offered in the online module, both the options, but there are 2 types within this. One which are very competitive in nature to get in, try those first. Second, pay and do the program. That should be your backup in case that is you are very desperate to do a summer program. Otherwise, don't even do that way to do program. The first option should always be the ones where the acceptance rates are 5%, 6%. Now the question is, how do I get into these summer programs where the acceptance rates are 3%, 4%, 5%? Guys, SAT score will be asked in these summer programs when they are applying in grade level. Like MIT summer program, to fill in the application, 15-20 should be your SAT score. Otherwise, please don't fill in the application. Okay? One would be your SAT. Second, they will ask your entire academics. 9th finals, 10th finals. Third, they will ask 2 letters of recommendations from your school. Your school has to vouch for you that you are a fit for this program. Okay? Fourth, they will ask your co-curriculars, extracurriculars, what all you have done until now, how you will be a good fit for this summer program. Applying for this summer program is as good as applying for a college application. Okay? But it gets you one step closer to the college, provided you get into one of these competitive summer programs. Right? So again, first step should actually for you to be, let's prepare for these summer programs so that I get entry into grade 11, some of the best programs. Then that, that will also add on to your college applications. Okay? Some of the top summer programs, this RSI which is offered by MIT, there is SIP Science Internship Program. Again, the acceptance rates are 3-4%. U Chicago summer programs are very good, especially in economics. There are many, like Stony Brook offers a research-based summer program. So these are some of the options that I am talking about. We need to identify the right summer program, which is very important. Typically for our kids, we apply to 3-4 of these programs to see if we get into one of them. Right? And the timelines for these summer programs are between 15th of December to 15th of February. That's when the applications happen, and they will announce who gets selected or not in the month of March, April. and then the program generally happens in the month of June or July. Okay, so this is another way to demonstrate your co-curriculars. So competitions, research programs, summer programs, and the fourth one would be the internships. So guys, as such, it's very difficult to get internships outside. If your father is into that industry, you know, he has a friend working for a startup and you get in, that's good, that is good. Otherwise, there are a couple of institutes that we recommend our kids to go for internships, which they are doing very good job there. So we do not have any official tie-ups with them, but because our kids have done their internships in the past, and the only thing they specialize in is to offer high school internships for a month or so. They have tie-ups with some of the companies. So I have invited both of them today, Zamed and Intra-Varsity. Yeah. So after the session, you can speak to them about the program. They have been generous. I have asked them to give 50% discount to any kid who registers after this. Again, guys, I have no tie-ups, nothing. कुछ सर को नहीं मिल रहा है, अभिषेक सर को कुछ नहीं मिल रहा है. They have done a good job, and you know, I know when I started in 2013 how difficult it is to make a company. It's super difficult. So when I see some young people starting up, you want to help them out to reach out to the right people, and that's why I just invited them. You are doing a good job. Please show your products to our parents. So after the session, you can speak to them. They are offering those 1-month internships either in the field of AI, biology, economics, or some other things. You can do it. Okay? That can be a good filler in your application. What else? Doing Coursera courses, doing Udemy courses on those topics, that helps. So that is another way to demonstrate your co-curricular activities. In fact, you know, those courses are very much required to do some of those summer programs or research projects. Today, tell me one thing, if you want to take up a AI research project, many of you wouldn't even know what is AI ML, sir. What is artificial intelligence? What research project will I do? I don't even know what ML stands for. It's machine learning. What exactly is this? Then we recommend you the right courses ones you should do first before you jump into that, you know, research program, summer program and all that. So then it looks like a story to the college. This guy wants to do computer science. He did math Olympiads. He did a Coursera course on Python and machine learning. Ends up taking a research project on that. Probably then does a prototype, publishes his own app or something. Then ends up taking a summer program in a college. It shows a story that, look, he's very consistent. He has been devoting a lot of time for the past 2.5 years in, you know, showing his passion towards the major that he wants to pursue. And this is the story that you need to create, whatever time you have. Many of you would think, how much time will it actually take? When should one start? Are we too late in the game? Guys, start. I have students, I'll show you some profiles who have made up to top 5 college within 8-9 months also. So they pulled it off. थोड़ा मेहनत डबल किया उन लोगों ने दूसरों से. But start even if you're in grade 9, it will be ideal time because you have 3.5 years to make this. If you're in grade 10, you still have a lot of time. You're in grade 11 also, beginning, it's a lot of time. Grade 12 beginning, I mean, we need to fight it out. We just have 6-8 months left, right? So don't delay this. Are you to 10? You know, Indian mentality, I'm not against, but when I speak to parents, Abhishek पहले 10th का बोर्ड तो हो जाने दो, हो गया. Abhishek पहले 10th का रिजल्ट तो आ जाने दो. क्या पता मार्क्स ही नहीं आए तो फिर आगे क्यों देखना? अरे जब तक आप देखेंगे तब तक तो फिर, you know, उसके बाद it's too late. We are not realizing that. So we need to trust कि यार ये करेगा अच्छा 10th में. We need to tell the child, look, you need to support your academics and let's get started so that, you know, you build up a top profile in the stipulated time that you have. Okay, so that's co-curriculars, guys. Extracurriculars, school leadership, clubs and society, sports, music, drama, community service. All of this is your co-curriculars and extracurriculars, which carries 20% of the weightage in your application. Now, how many of you actually believe we need certificates for this to prove? Do we need? Only 1 or 2% certificates. We don't need certificates to show our internship, summer program, research. Yes, everyone? Anyone says no? Anyone?
It's more like letters of recommendation more than experience.
Yes, we do not need any certificates, guys. If you need certificates, please come to me. 10 मैच पा के दो इंडिया. क्या चाहिए बोलो? कहाँ NGO से चाहिए? सब कुछ हो जाएगा. But catch is they are not going to look at these certificates. Then how are we trying to prove, or how are we going to prove all of this? This will, one, it will be done by your school. It will get a mention on your LORs, letter of recommendation. School पहले check करेगा आपने क्या किया. You went to apply for the summer program also, you have to take LOR from school first of all, or to do research and all that. Second, you will need to mention this as part of your essays. What you did, how you did. Leena is the essay expert in my team. She will exactly explain how kids showcase all of this as part of your essay. Remember, the college admission officer does not take your interview, guys. Very rarely you get an interview. It's all through your essays that he tries to understand who's the child behind this essay. Okay? He reads through it, he sees your grades, your SAT score, makes a call within 6 minutes, yes or no. So that's the average time that an admission officer spends, and you spend doing 2-3 years of work. He takes 6 minutes to decide yes or no. That essay has to be perfect. It should convince him that you are a right fit for this college. Okay? So what more about the essays? Leena will take it over from here. Anything else, guys, in the profile before Leena takes over the essays and explain how exactly you write your essays, what exactly is asked in these essays? Any questions on the profile part, guys? Very rare, only offered by Ivy Leagues, which is optional in nature. They ask one of their alumni in the city to do a personal interview, but that's only those 5-6 colleges. Otherwise, not the Berkeley, the Carnegie and all that. No, they do not ask for a personal. Or if they are like 50-50, you know, ठीक भी लग रहा है, but शायद सही किया है कि ये झूठ बोल रहा है, but profile तो सही है, they would want to do that. Very rare, 50-50.
So different colleges in US or in Europe, they have a different, in the applications you have summer programs and research, they have a different kind of like weightage into that?
No, almost very similar. US is what I explained you. Europe, it's very similar. US, UK, Europe,
So research program and summer program and all these things.
yeah, carry the highest weightage, the competition, summer program.
Total of that.
Yeah, see, I always tell one thing. If you build your profile or your academics keeping US in mind, everything else is a byproduct. You don't need to do anything extra for any other college or country, except those TMUA and all that, which could be the country requirement. Profile-wise or academic requirement-wise, it's all the same for everyone. Yeah. If you're prepared, keeping your profile, say, okay, I want to get into Ivy League. Let me prepare my profile for that. Then at the time of college application, whether you apply to UK, Singapore, won't make a difference, just fill in the forms. Because everything is covered. Nothing extra is asked beyond what US needs.
But different colleges have different weightage of all these.
Except California. California does not take SAT scores anymore. They have gone test blind. Even if you get a 1600 on SAT, they do not take the score. Okay? Then their weightage is 70% on the academics, 30% on the profile. Because the 20% weightage of SAT cuts in. But overall you can say 60-20-20 is what it is for most of them. Yeah. Okay. Now, before Leena takes over, how exactly Quest helps you? Does anyone needs water? Yeah? Now you can be louder, let everyone hear your question. Very good question. Rice.
Now 10 to 11, can they still?
Yeah, it's fine. But the major weightage is actually on your 10th finals and your 12th. If your 9th is somewhat not great, but your 10th and 12th are great, you can always give an excuse or a reason why one of the year was not great. But if you have consistently not done well in the academics, then there is no reasoning for that. The ones who are not with us, they still end up taking those NIOS and the IGCSE exams and all that. That's okay.
So you were talking about
Then it's only the 10%.
So in that case, it still works.
It still works. Yeah, but let me tell you one thing. If you are being a private candidate, be a Cambridge private candidate in 11-12 rather than being an NIOS. The NIOS acceptance is very poor outside. But if you are a Cambridge private candidate doing ASA levels, IGCSE outside, there. I have one student from Madhya Aditi got Georgia Tech. Till 10th, the girl never went to school. So 9th, 10th, we only taught her all the IGCSE subjects. I don't know, the mother never wanted her to go to school.
We just dropped out.
Okay, very good. Yeah. So then the school asked us to give on our letterhead that the child was with us and we gave that the school list was accepted. She got into Georgia. 11-12 she went back to the school But I have a student from Tunisia last year who did private, and we gave the predicted scores of grade 12. We are authorized in Cambridge system. So we gave it on our letterhead, the predicted grades and all that.
I would need your help.
Sure.
Say your later.
Yeah, we are going to cover that after the basics. Not all of them need SAT. So the most competitive ones I thought, so the MIT or the SIT or those programs, sometimes they ask SAT. The UPenn summer program, they say SAT is optional. So increases the chances. Otherwise, not all of them. So let other come back. My expectation is all A-stars. Like what 90% plus and all that. Higher your score, better it is. Yeah. But if you say 85, then please compensate in your 10th and make sure it's 92, 93. And then in your 12th again above 90 so that from grade 9 onwards you are eligible for this. I have 300 kids this year preparing for APs. 30% of them are grade 9 students. They are taking psychology or statistics or English language, depending on their interest areas. No. But AP you can't take, you only have one chance a year. So technically, how will you even take more than once or twice? But one thing about AP is I told you the exam is scored out of 5 points. The actual exam is out of 100 marks. How do they actually score it out of 5? How much do you think would be a cutoff out of 100 to get a 5 on an AP? Anyone? 90? That's 99? 98 बोले सर 40 Who are your children? वो तो आप home तो ये like 98 में आते हो 60, 65? Father is very generous. Okay, actually he's correct. The way to get a 5 on an AP, the cutoff is 60 to 65%. It's a college level course, guys. This is not your school exam. Yeah, 90, 95. When you go to college, you'll only end up scoring 60, 65 only. The papers will not be like 95, 90, ऐसे नहीं होता है college के papers, right? You can ask your parents how much they scored in their college days. So, yeah.
Since the AP happens only in May in India.
Only in May.
Can it go
Across the
outside
world,
India?
not just India.
Outside
Same date throughout the world, the exam will happen on the same day. So 60-65% is what to get a 5 on 5, 55% to get a 4, 50%, 45% to get a 3 on 5. You can just get those college credits, but it will not be part of your college application. So I'll explain the timelines of the college application after we cover the essays. Shall we cover the essays? Okay. Australia, well, no requirements. Just take IELTS, IELTS, score 85% plus on your school exam. You will get through Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, Queensland, anywhere. 85% plus on school, 6.7 out of 9 on your IELTS. Australia is set. You want to start the essays? Anyone is answered? Let's get started again.
So,
some universities, if you go to their website, say 2 years back I know I had a kid, Sydney, they would, if you score above this much, we'll give you scholarship, but not for the criteria of getting admission. So you need to check the individual website if they are offering scholarship based on SAT or not, but admission wise you don't need SATs first.
so essays is the fourth pillar. We have already talked about the academics. The first thing which the child comes with, we do help with polishing that. Second, the standardized testing, SATs and APs. Third, we talked about the profile building, all the details discussed. Now, all these three things which have been talked about, they are not a jump, right? Every child who's sitting over here has got a unique story. Everybody can get more or less the same marks. They will be participating in more or less the same kind of activities. SATs, 1500 plus or 1490 will be scoring, but does it tell the application leader who this person is? We don't come to know. Ultimately, the child is going to become a part of the community. If your child has been studying in the same school for last 10 years, you understand the school recognizes not only the child but also the parent because of whatever the child has been doing. So the personality. Now personality comes from what all the child has been doing. The good, bad, everything. Now as a parent, I'm sure like you would have been giving the best to the child, all the experiences like the kindergarten and the primary. We're trying to push the child to do as much as possible. But everybody is not a sportsman, everybody is not a musician, everybody is not, Trinity music thing. Like, we all are unique. Now that uniqueness is the thing which comes displayed in the essays, right? If somebody is scoring wonderful, somebody is scoring wonderful in ABs, SATs, we can more or less understand, being teachers, parents, that what kind of child this person will be. Now this person. Now, essays matter because they understand the character, values, potential beyond the grades. Now they discover the unique voice. They are tailored to each university. Now, essays are not the same essays for each university. Yeah, broadly we understand the child. The reason we need to understand the child as a parent also, I'm sure you do not know the child as much as their friends know or sometimes the teachers also know. Because they are different in front of you and sometimes they are open but still not reflective. Now reflectiveness is a very unique thing but also at the same time not happening in any of the educational boards in our country. Though IB say, but who gives the importance to actually understand why the child picked up this subject or why this class activity is more important to him? Where are those value systems? And why is the community service important? Because any of the professions which you have taken, all the parents over here, in a way we are related to the community, some segment of the community we are helping. So am I taking this profession or this major or this career to make money, as Abhishek said, the ROI and all, or do I actually, connect to the cause that how am I going to serve the society? Now, serve the society doesn't come in this teenage thing, but a little understanding or the exposure when they go into their community helps them to see actually what the pain and what the requirement of the world is, and if you associate, you understand those factors that how you can help them. Now help them is actually giving back to the society and that nurtures you. If you would have seen so many wonderful professionals who have done the best, earned the best, they come back to something to give back to the society to actually feel contented, not even happy. So we start from the school age to give them the exposure of community service, and there are multiple students who have written their best essays based on how they help the others, and that has actually added value to the application reader as well as the admissions. So it's a strategic storytelling. So these are few Common App essay prompts if you can look into. Now Common App is a common application that goes to multiple schools of US. Apart from all what we have discussed, that goes into, this is a main essay of 650 words.
So Common App essay basically will be given to all the universities in the US that you are applying to. This is a common essay, okay? There are 6 prompts and you need to identify one prompt and write the essay on that. The same essay will go to every single US university. Other than that, you will have supplement essays for every college. Some will say, explain in 100 words why where you showcased your leadership skills. Explain in 300 words why you want to do a particular major. Those will be supplement essays for every college. But Common App essay is common to every single US university you are applying to. When you are applying to say 15 colleges, on an average, each student will write 30 essays across the 15 colleges with different prompts. And this timer, in fact, takes 3 to 4 months to prepare your entire applications with essays. So Veena, go ahead to the Common App.
So these are the prompts you can see. I'll just
this year prompt as well.
Yeah. So reflect on something that someone has done for you that makes you happy or thankful. Discuss an accomplishment, realization. Reflect on a time, the lessons we take from obstacles. So this all is based on reflective thinking. The children are 15 years or something, so they have already gotten the experience of 15 years. They think, okay, this is insignificant to talk about their grandparents or something that has happened in the family. But we cannot avoid the fact that that has shaped their personality as well. So we need to connect to our own story and then see how we can answer any one of these. So we we are giving you 2-3 examples that help you understand in very short that how a story comes up. Like this is a synopsis and presentation.
One second. This is what our kids wrote. Those who got into the top colleges, we did not want to take the name of the child, but you get an idea how their essay looked like and how they connected their essay with their co-curriculars and extracurriculars and all that.
So there's a student who had sudden loss of his grandfather, a late night birthday phone call. In the US, he moved to India, new culture, a new school system, and a label he hadn't expected. So the school children started calling him ABCD. ABCD is American Born Confused AC. So unfamiliar norms, a rigid academic system, and the loss of familiar debate environment. So he enjoyed debate in his previous school. So he wanted to bring this back because his voice was not being heard. So instead of actually drooping down or quitting, he built new spaces and he became the one who created belonging for others because he could not get that belonging. Could you see the story here? So we all have a story. Now this essay shows the writer is a strong person, adaptable and a natural leader. He wasn't given that atmosphere, but he created that atmosphere. So even after facing a big loss and moving to a completely new country and the school system, he didn't give up. So it shows it just doesn't adjust to tough situations. It takes action, brings people together, and makes a positive difference wherever he goes.
So one thing could have been when you get bullied or something, you say, no, I want to change my school, I'm not okay going. And there's one who will go and fight it out and create their own identity in that space.
So idea behind all common app essays is, okay, this happened in your life, so what? Problems will come in your life. So are you just looking at the problem or you looking at the solution? Because you can't just let the things go on. Second example is like somebody who's talking about that her room is a messy room. So how the messy rooms gives creativity. So my room may look like a creative disaster, but to me it's organized chaos. So messy and uncertain, but over time patterns emerge. So out of that mess she gets an idea and purpose reveals itself. Now chaos isn't failure. I don't fear the mess anymore, I welcome it because within it lies growth, resilience and the spark of something extraordinary. So you have to look at whatever your originality is, being reflective about my own life, because authentic thing is only the one which is going to appeal. Because remember children, those application readers have been reading the essays for ages. So you all cannot write about chess, you all cannot write about debate, you just have to talk about your story. So you have to look at what in my life is me actually, that will go and send to the rest of the application. So this essay shows the writer is creative, self-aware and resilient. So the fact that I'm aware who I am, even if I'm messy, even if I'm communicating, even if I'm ADHD, the people write about those things. So in spite of that vulnerability, what do I look up to? So my originality makes my essay. So through painting, gymnastics, running a startup, he learned that chaos is a part of creative process, showing that he's a problem solver who grows through every experience. Right? So this is a kind of essay in itself.
There are certain essays which the students do not want their parents to read and they want to go directly to the college application. So, when you want to write along with your child, they will not open up. There are certain things that they will not be comfortable sharing and but they want to put that in their experience and all that. And we have had students who have written it and the parents have never seen the essay and it went directly to the college application. It was only between Reena and the student.
More than essay writing, it is what to write. So 2-3 months it takes for actually to understand that this can be written. And for me to understand the child again, it takes 2-3 months because we need to build up that rapport and understanding that okay, the child can confess in me. So whatever the child keeps on sharing, I'll keep on taking the notes, and out of that I'll be okay, this can be picked up as an essay. Whereas the child is just telling me and narrating me on the comfort zone, but I'll see okay, this actually goes that way.
In fact, those essays even I don't read, so it's always between Reena and the child. It is something that they want to share.
Yeah. So
one more, guys.
Yeah, this is another essay. Now, sometimes in our family there are certain values, right? The parents are doing certain things that the child definitely picks up from there. So this is a child who actually was visiting a temple, old temple, and he told the father that why he's showing the concern to the temple. So the father taught that wealth means nothing if it is not serving the society. So inspired from there, the child took up the Rotary Club. He raised funds for visually impaired students and they realized that the true impact isn't measured in money but in changing lives. So in our entire essay of 650 words, we have to go through each feeling. It's not what the child is doing, it's actually how's the child growing while doing that. Like if somebody is talking about a debate essay or a cricket essay, it's not like I'm writing these matches I've played. How did I grow as a human while doing that? So me in the activity, not the activity is an essay. Everywhere the essay says the child. Child doing internship, not the internship has to be explained. Child doing research, not the research has to be explained. So everywhere my own growth should happen while I am into any activity or into my experiences of life. Because as profound the experiences will be, that much profound the life will be. So this is like again the essay showing that the writer is empathetic, driven by purpose and committed to making a real difference. And by his father's values, he learned that true impact comes from helping others. Resilience, communications and a heartfelt leadership. He takes action to improve their lives. The other day we were discussing, Abhishek and I, like we have been witnessing from last 2-3 years that the community service and the genuine community service does make a huge difference to the application readers, because the attributes and values, they are depicted through that, and when the child is deep into it, he is not the same, right? He is a different person that adds value to the community of the university as well. So these are examples of few more prompts, like describe an
That was
example.
the Common App essay prompt. These are the supplement essays that some of these universities have.
Broadly, like these are going to cover all the activities which the child does. Like describe an example of your leadership. Leadership experience in which you have positively influenced others, helped resolve disputes or contributed to group efforts over time. So explaining the child, development of the child is being explained. Every person has a creative side. Now what would you say is your greatest talent or skill? How have you shaped and demonstrated that talent? Describe how you have taken an advantage of significant educational opportunity. Describe the significant challenge you have faced and the steps you have taken to overcome that challenge. Think about the academic subject that inspires you, and most important again, one of the essay which comes almost everywhere, what have you done to make your school or your community a better place? Now, only if you have done something, you can explain. As Abhishek said, certificate is not given you experience. So how can I tell my visit to Delhi if I have not actually visited Delhi? So till I don't do it, I can actually explain.
So guys, you can do backtracking also. These prompts are not changing year on year. Almost 75-80% of these prompts are very similar year on year. You know they are going to ask this question 2 years down the line, right? Start identifying which activity of yours is going to tick mark that essay. And if at all you have not yet tick mark, we need to come up with something as part of our profile building so that you are able to answer this question when it comes up as well. So that's called the backward integration that you can apply. These are the 15 prompts that they are going to ask. Do I have answers to these prompts? If not, what I can do so that I'll be able to answer these prompts. So we can identify the relevant profile building stuff through which you will be able to answer some of these questions which are probably missing in your profile.
While doing the same, it is like I'm not doing it for the university, I'm doing it for myself. So just doing it for the university, a community service doesn't bring out that spark in you as much as when you're generally helping somebody and growing. Now, first we saw the common app essay which was 650 words. Then the regular university essays or the supplementary essays are sometimes 200 words, 250 words, 300 words, 350 words, or sometimes 500 words as well. Depends on how much in depth we can go. Now, the first point that is to be taken care of when we are writing an essay is no generalization. It is not like an academic essay where your English is going to be judged. Definitely English matters, but point is the content. Most of the time when I tell a child to write an essay of 250 words, the first draft what the child will come up with is 200 words which I eliminate because they are just a development to English. That's not the content. So 50 words remain. So holding those 50 words, we go in depth. As much as depth we can go into, that creates the story. Now, the word limit is important because you're not beating around the bush, right? You have to talk sense. We do not have to talk about, we don't have to go off the track at all. So there are university essays which are 25 characters. Now you can just imagine what is 25 characters. So the reason behind 25 characters or 250 words is talk sense. They don't have the time to reach much beyond and we don't have to repeat anything. So So what all we have talked about, your academics, your APs, your SATs, your profile, essays, repetition is to be avoided. That's why it's very important to mind map, like what all is going to go where, and the reader should not become monotonous. Once I would have read that okay, the child has already talked about MUNs, I don't want to everywhere split MUNs in my leadership to MUNs, my activity to MUNs. No, what I do beyond that? So, telling now all these are reflective. Describe yourself in 2 words. Like, if we all are given this chance, we actually become reflective. And what have I not called in my rest of the university, which I still want to tell? So that goes into thoughtfulness. What's your favorite snack? University को क्यों जानना है मैं क्या खाता हूँ? But again, your thought process is coming. Why that snack is so important that you're telling the university? And what's the link behind? खाली snack लेके नहीं छोड़ देंगे. There's a content. Like if there is 100 characters, question 2 to 10 are 100 characters. So we can always give a context. Why this? Same as best movie, dream job, theme song, dream trip, TV show. Well-known person or fictional character. एक बहुत like common ऐसे आता है. Who is a fictional character or who would you like to be your roommate? That shows your thought process. So हर चीज जो भी आप लिखोगे that should reveal you while writing about that. Favorite book. If you could teach a class on any topic, what it would be? So जो भी लिख रहे हो तो it seems very simple. 25 characters. जितने छोटे words होंगे उतना difficult सोचना होगा. So there are answers to the same which the child had given, and the child has gone into USC this year. So
this is for University of Southern California, by the way, sir. So this was by University of Southern California. These are their prompts.
And the answers are like all fresh. The child has gotten into, and these are his. So you can see when somebody is writing favorite snack, it's grandma's gurukul. Now I used to beg my mother to ship them to US. Now they are minutes away. So context. Like they are able to understand the emotional aspect of the child also, because if you are a doctor, if you are a counselor, if you are an advocate, you are just not your profession. What are you beyond that profession or beyond that academic scope? As many as questions are there, as many as pointers of the personality you can reveal, that much is the conviction of the application reader. So TV show, binge watch later, you have to show why it's coming up. Dream trip, life theme song. Everybody has got sense and a different thing revealing about the child, right? So that was all about essays. Basically, we should get to know the child as much as we can and try to give it in the space given for writing in a very creative and interesting way so that the reader actually gets convinced. Thank you. Any questions related to it? All good, we are all here. Thank you.
Anything Rina is around. So I'll give you Rina's background. For the first 10 years, she was an IB English HL teacher in a school. And for the last 10 years, she has been into college admission counseling. So, English-wise also, she's very strong, and because she has done it for a decade, she exactly understands what it has to go through in your essays. This kid that we were talking about, right? I'll tell his name. His name is Satvik. He's from Indus, Hyderabad, who got University of Southern California for a direct LLB program. How many of you actually know direct law is possible in US? We all know that you cannot study medical in the US directly. You have to do pre-med, then do the med. And even for law, law is not a bachelor's degree in the US. You need to do something like economics or political relations, political science or international relations or economics, then do your LSAT, and then do a law degree. This boy actually got a University of Southern California seat, and they offered him a 3+3 direct law program. Academics wise, was he brilliant? I would say no. 35 out of 42 was his predicted on IB. Not very brilliant. SAT was a 15-16. But the essays that he wrote, right, that made a difference. So that additional 3 points which were missing in the IB, ideally a Southern California would expect a student to have a 38 out of 42 in IB. 38, 39 is the range that the college would accept because it's a top 20 college for law studies. You can check the ranking of US News, ranked 20th for law program. At 35, he could still make it. He could compensate that 2-3 points drop through his essays that he wrote, right? So that's where again essays plays an important role, but that much only you can do through your essays. You cannot get 60% in your school and then say University of Southern California, no matter your essays may look like the Shakespeare one also. It's not going to
I would
happen.
like to add a line here. Am I audible, right? So when Abhishek was talking about that child, as parents you all know that there are times when the child goes low, right? Sometimes he feels okay, like Eligibility wise, I'm not, going there. So I remember the moments we had, long discussions with the child where you actually have to, uplift. So when he got this to SC, I just wrote, I said, you remember the discussions? So the child is really motivated through those, 6-7 months.
At 35, he was very down. Sir, ab kya hoga? Matlab, looks like all gone, and had aspirations for a top 20 college. But subject combination was the not right one that he chose before even joining us. Again, one more thing, right? Lot of parents come and say, Abhishek, बहुत सारे options open लगते हैं. ठीक है, let's take maths, physics, chemistry. क्या पता कल mind change हो जाए, engineering करेगा. Let's take economics. क्या पता law ही कर लेगा. हम सब ले लेते हैं. But the child does not like maths. He doesn't like physics. आप जबरदस्ती उसको engineering क्यों कराते हैं? But because of which you end up taking HLs in maths, physics, and all that, right? And then he doesn't score because that's not his strength. But universities will not, think like this. Oh, you force. What should I do? It's very important to choose your subjects in the right way. One related to the major you want to pursue. Second should be your interest. Okay? Please do not take up subjects where you know you don't like it, and do not force your child also into that. नहीं पसंद है ना मत करो. Very simple. आप क्यों force कर रहे हो? Still through your subject combination you can keep 2-3 options open. That is okay. Sir, I am okay with finance, I am okay with computer science, or I may do biology, or I may want to keep my economics options open. These can be managed through your subject combination. 2 days back I had a discussion with a Hyderabad parent. You know how mostly they work, right? Ladki hui to doctor, ladka hua to engineer. So still it's going on. Abhishek, so child says, sir, I hate math, I hate physics. Then I asked, what subject combination are you going to choose in IT? Sir, math, HL, physics, HL. I said, how is it? This is contradicting, right? No, sir, I don't like. My father wants to keep engineering option open. Now, 10th grade math is a B grade in extended math in school. You're scoring barely 70% in your 10th, and you're saying, I do IIT JEE math. And the parents say, sir, कल से पढ़ने लग जाएगी तो हो जाएगा. It's not practical, right? Your foundation is not good. You don't like that subject. How suddenly you will start scoring 90 plus in your next year when your foundations are not good? You don't enjoy that subject. So this boy would have easily got a 39, 40 on 42 had he stuck to his economics law combination. But because of that fascination to keep math, physics, keep that engineering option open, ended up getting 5 in math, 5 in physics. Overall the score came to 35, but ended up applying to law, and his entire profile building was on economics and law program. Luckily the essays went perfectly. His SAT was 1560, first attempt. A 1560 boy, this is very highly correlated, the SAT score and IB scores. You don't see a 1560 on SAT and getting 70% in school. It won't happen. It cannot happen. It's highly correlated. But because of that wrong choice of subjects, it almost could have turned into a disaster for him. So when you're choosing your 11th, 12th subjects, again we have this fascination, science to kar hi lete hain. Let's have 11th, 12th science, सारे options खुले रहेंगे. अब options खुले रख रहे हैं तो वो Indian system है. यहाँ पे because IB system A level it is designed to choose subjects which you love. Then you don't need to generalize it and say options open रख हैं. And one more thing I want to say, in 11 years I am doing this. I have not seen a student cracking IIT, JEE and simultaneously getting into a top 10 US college. This is totally different. If you are doing JEE, good luck. Study 12 hours a day. Math, physics, chemistry, then your chances of selection is probably 2 or 3%. You cannot say, okay, I'll study 10 hours a day for JEE, another 6 hours my child will do SAT and profile and all those things. No, you can't do that. Neither you will score a good rank here, nor you will score a good rank there. Make your mind, you are going to abroad or you are staying back, focus on that. Everything is becoming very competitive. To get into Klaksha, Ashoka is also becoming equally challenging. Right? Even if you want to go back in India. But you want to do NEET, getting through NEET is competitive. You can't do 2-3 things together. I mean, we can't do one properly. अगर NEET crack करना है तो उसमें ही all the effort goes in और JEE crack करना है. How can you expect ये तो कर ही लो उसके ऊपर ये भी कर लो? You can't do that. Okay? It's telling someone of your caliber एक काम करो 2 जॉब कर लीजिए आप सुबह 8 से 5 एक जॉब कर लीजिए और बाद में 6 से 12 एक दूसरी कंपनी में एक और जॉब कर लीजिए. ये कैसे हो सकता है? Right? So you can't do that. So that is something we wanted to address. Okay, how we helped in this entire journey? We are in the last segment of our session and then we are done. Last 5 minutes, guys. So me and Reena only will be working one-on-one with the student for the entire duration. So whether you're in grade 9 that for 4 years, 10 for 3 years, whatever duration it is, we come up with a curated plan every quarter with our student, which is I help design that plan. Okay, what are we going to achieve in the upcoming quarter? You start now. What are we going to do in April, May, June? Say you have finished your 10th. I know all the summer programs are in June, July. You have your board exams finishing up in 10th of June. I will be planning your vacations right now itself, because guys, these programs that we need to apply for, their deadlines are 2 months in advance. You cannot come after your board exam and say, sir, अब start करते हैं. अब start करते हैं तो अब 1 महीने बाद ही चालू होगा, क्योंकि nothing is available tomorrow कि ये आज करना है, कल से ये चीज start हो जाएगी. It's very rare. So we need to plan our upcoming quarter. We come up with, okay, this is the plan for the next quarter. These are the competitions I think you should do, which are, available, which are relevant to you. What could be a summer program? We have to start a research projects in 6 months' time. What is the prerequisite for that, so that we can do those courses in the next 3, 4, 5, 6 months, so that we are then going to do those research projects. Where will you do the research projects? Under whom you will do? What would be your community service project idea which you would want to take it forward for the next 1 year, 1.5 years, whatever it is. We design those plans every quarter by quarter, and then we have monthly meetings with the student. Every 1 month we have a Zoom meeting. One or both the parents are encouraged to be participant of that meeting. Guys, this is not like, अच्छा admission करा दिया है, आप समझो, ऐसा नहीं होता. Every student who has made it to a top college, what we have seen, either the mother or the father was very much involved in the entire journey. There are sometimes you need support from the mother or the father. This is very intensive. Getting into a top 10 college in the US or top 20 in the world is as good as probably getting a JEE seat in India or a NEET in India. The effort that it takes. ऐसा नहीं है कि आप admission करा दिया and we are busy with our work. Please take that time out when we have these meetings. Sit with your child, help them through these couple of years, because time is very short and we need to make sure things fall in place in that stipulated amount of time. So these meetings that we have, in my experience, at least if one of the parents is involved in the entire journey, I have seen wonderful results. I have had things कि मम्मी मेरा फॉर्म भर रही है, I take the Olympiad, or the mom identifies the NGO, and then the child goes in. आप सोचो बच्चा जाके एक NGO में पता करे, because you may tell this is the project I want to do, but we need to identify the right NGO or the area where he can do that. So parents' involvement is very important. So this is what we keep doing for the next whatever, the building of the profile part which we are talking about. When we come into grade 12, that's when we do your college selection of 15 universities, 1-5. That's the number that most kids apply to. How do I design that list? Based on your academics, based on your SATs, based on the profile that you have curated. I do not have any tie-ups with anyone. We are not agents. I do not. In fact, if you do not get a top college, I tell don't even go abroad. In the current scenario, it just doesn't make sense. ROI won't make sense. Nothing makes sense if you are not making it to some of the top universities. So the idea is, how can we get those top universities? Effort is required, but we are here to support you, throughout the time. We'll make it easier for you, but you still need to put in that effort. I can give you the right teachers, the right materials for SAT. We can get you the best teachers teaching you, but you need to open your book and study. You need to come to the class, do your homework on time, do those mock tests assigned. That is very basic, which is expected from the child. And don't do Instagram. That is another basic which is expected. छोड़ दो उसको. Lot of time is saved during the day, which goes in that. Okay, so 12th grade we do the profile college selection, and then it takes around 4 to 5 months, guys, for those essays to be written. Multiple iterations happens for these essays. The timeline to apply to college is November of grade 12 is the early application deadline to the US University. 1st of November. And I want most of our applications to go in the early round. Okay? Which means from June, July onwards, you need to start working on your essays. June, July of grade 12. So it is around 4 months is when you'll be able to write all those prompts and all that. So before that, it is important you have your SAT scores done, your 11th finals went well, and you have done a lot in your 9th, 10th or 11th, whatever it is, right? So that you can then start writing your essays. So this is how we help. 3-step process: build your profile, shortlist your college, help you with your essays, where to take your letter of recommendation from. If you are stuck in your Common App application is another 40-page application. Many questions are there. Wherever you are stuck, Nina will be there. How are they different from others? You may come and say, sir, there's a school counselor also. Guys, school counselor के भरोसे कुछ नहीं होगा. Take any student who has got into a top university, I can tell you 100% it was not done through the school counselor. One school counselor, 50 students, 100 students, they won't even meet you twice a year. All they do, fill your common app, get your letter of recommendations uploaded, get your certificates uploaded, and that is what they will do. Sometimes you will get a mail as parent, these are the upcoming summer programs. That is the same mail that they will circulate to entire 120 crowd. Now you decide which summer program you want to go for, and most of it sometimes we feel are so useless that they are not going to even add value in your college application. They see, oh, Ashoka is offering a summer program, send this mail to the kid. Do you know Ashoka's summer program is very bad? All they do is roam around the campus, show how Ashoka is great, what is liberal art education, but that is not why I came for this summer program. I wanted to do something, right? So identifying those right programs, those right projects, those competitions. Let me explain. I'll give you what we do and why we do this. Think like this. You have bought a house. So your child is basically your house. Now you need an interior designer to design your house so that it looks great. So basically we are those interior designers who are going to do the sketching, getting those right carpenters or right people to design your house so that it looks wonderful. So your child is your house and we are the designers basically who needs to ensure that that goes on well and everything is put in place properly. So this is our role. Get you the right people to help you, your SAT prep, your AP prep. Tutoring is again very important. These grades are very important, guys. Wherever you feel the red mark, you feel okay, you're trying but you're not able to get an A star in this subject, you're getting stuck at B or A. Take help, identify which chapters you need help, take 5-10 classes. We have that flexibility in our institute. You come and say, sir, I am not understanding organic chemistry, I need 10 classes, can you arrange a teacher? Yes, we will arrange 10 classes for you. Do these 10 classes, make sure that you are thorough with that chapter and then when you are taking the exam, you are done. So we have that flexibility because we have a team of 55 teachers in-house. All are IT experienced teachers. Most of them are IT examiners. I have recruited all the teachers myself. You can be sure that these are the best teachers trying to help you so that we do not give up. कि यार स्कूल तो करा रहा है, मैं भी ट्राई कर रहा हूँ, ये आ रहा है, नॉट गेटिंग हिस्सा छोड़ देते, नहीं छोड़ो मत. अब प्लीज 10 क्लास दो, आइडेंटिफाई करो विच चैप्टर so that you can improve on the grades. So that is again important. SATs are important and then your profile is important. So we are able to cater to all of these three. As an institute, how are we different? You will say a lot of independent counselors outside. Who's good? Who's not good? I don't know about others. We are very good. Okay. I say this because I do it myself. You have a lot of institutes. Probably the owner talks to you for the first time, and then you have their subordinates taking up their meetings. In every single meeting, you see my face. I am doing the entire planning myself. And we'll close our admission when we feel this is what we can do. And all the essays, Lina does it herself. Every time I ask, do you need another support? Do we look at it and she says, no, I am not comfortable, I will do it myself. Because डर लगता है कि कहीं कुछ गलत हो गया तो it could be a trial for us, but उसका तो गया, that child. So we are doing it all on ourselves, and we do it all on ourselves, and we do our best to make sure that you get into some of the top 20 colleges. And every time you see me, I always say top 20, top 20. And you will always know why is this guy so, fussy about this and why rankings matter. We all know rankings matter, right? We all know that. Whether we say it or we don't say it. These rankings do matter. वो top है, there is a reason why those are the top ones, right? So our idea is always to push you कि can you try to get in there at least, हो सकता है नहीं हो वो बात की बात है, but why don't we try to make sure that we get into some of those best universities? Okay, guys, quickly let's go over these. Singapore, since we talked so much about US, Singapore has NUS, NTU, SMU, 3 good colleges. Very high on academics requirements, 90% plus in your school, SAT score of 1500 plus, 3 APs, that's what Singapore needs, and they need some co-curriculars. They would love to see your research, summer programs or internship, but they are not very fascinated about the extracurriculars, like community service and all that. Southeast Asian, think about India. You do a community service, your dad will tell you, bhai pehle padh. Or your mom will pehle 95 laya, then we will serve the society. That's how things are here, right? India, Singapore, कोई भी Southeast Asian country है. But Singapore again does not value your music, drama and all. पढ़ाई बताओ, marks बताओ, and then show co-curriculars. Okay. Dutch, two good universities guys, Delft University of Technology and University of Amsterdam. Delft is very renowned for its engineering program. They have their own entrance test for math. No co-curriculars, nothing. High grades on your 11th, 10th, and you need to crack their own entrance exam. University of Amsterdam, recognized for its economics and finance programs. And Netherlands, by the way, is an English-speaking country, right? So all the programs are taught in English here. These and all you can look at it, guys. I don't want to. I think we have already exceeded. Ireland. These are the three couple of colleges: Trinity College Dublin and College. This is very renowned for biology. So if you want to pursue biology in Europe, Ireland is a good place. In fact, medical, direct med programs are offered in Ireland universities. Unlike US, where you have to do pre-med and med, Ireland you can do direct med program, and it is recognized by our Indian Council. Two good colleges: University College Dublin, Trinity College Dublin, and there's one Royal College of Surgeons. Few other notable universities: Italy, Bocconi University, programs are taught in English, very renowned for its economics and finance programs. These are in top 100 of the world. Okay, what's the test that you need to take? Either you take their Bocconi entrance or give them the SAT score. So you were asking, I think, about the SAT requirement for Europe. If you have a SAT score, you don't need to take the entrance test of Bocconi. Aalto University, Finland, amazing destination. Again, they need SATs. They don't have any other entrance. Give them the SAT scores and you can apply to Aalto. École Polytechnique in France. I don't know how many of you are aware. The acceptance rate is 3% in this college. École Polytechnique Institute, France. Programs are taught in English. Test either entrance exam or the SAT, ACT. University, Spain. Either their own test or SATs. So these are some of the universities in Europe that you can look at. We can discuss it later. 3-4 case studies, guys, and then we wrap up. We have good food outside, so I'll make sure that you're not going hungry. Just 5 more minutes, we can wrap up there. Okay, our first case study for this year, Sanjay Gopal Krishnan, Margarity International School. Most of you know about this school. Got into U Chicago early decision. You know what is early decision? Only one college you can select as early decision, and while applying to the college, you are committing to the college. If you select me, I will not go anywhere else. It's a binding agreement. This guy went with ED for U Chicago and said, sir, if this college selects me, I'm done. Which is ranked 4th in the US by the way, economics. U Chicago, what got him U Chicago? 9th grade, 5 A stars, 4 A's, but 10th was 9 A stars. So 10th is very important. I have been stressing on that. Predicted A, B, you can only get predicted, it was A star, A star, A star actually, that star is missing. SAT score was 15-10, IGCSE French grade 6 to 10. Look at his extracurriculars. He was president of Model United Nations Club at school, founder of MUN Consulting and Outreach Program at school, managed 2,500 plus students, training workshops and all that. Rotary Club, that essay that you saw about that Rotary Club, right, that was Sanjay's essay for U Chicago. So raised 2 lakhs in charity funds, organized blood drives and all. Head of finance team and all. These are these extracurriculars which he's doing as part of his school, right? Those clubs and all that. Now, where he came into picture, IISc Bangalore, under a professor, he did a research project titled Game Theory in Aviation. NUS GRIP summer program, he went to NUS for a summer program, where he did a primary research on pesticide poisoning, developed improved protective gear prototypes for Indian farmers. That's called Graduate Research Internship Program. That's offered at NUS, National University of Singapore. He had one personal project which was cardinal credit project, and then he did one small internship at Guest AFT Network LLP, 1 week internship basically. So you can see a couple of research programs, one project, and I started working with him from February of last year, and we had until November only, 8-9 months. And because the grades were very good, we did SAT 15-20, he did 2 APs by the way, not mentioned, both were 5 on 5, calculus and stats. And then during the summer we had 2 research planned, June-July, one he was doing with IISc, one with NUS, and then 1 week internship which we did it in the month of August. And he was doing this community service also, teaching at a nearby school, from RTI school and okay. Notable honors and awards. We made him do this IMO CSCA, only one Olympiad was available by then, and then he took the Philippines Math Olympiad as well. He did these 2 Coursera courses, and then TEDx and all that, right? So good academics, couple of research papers, APs, SAT 15-20, and then one internship. So everything, community service was very good. The Rotary Club, that he wrote in his essay, it was actually over a period of 1.5 years, because then he became a president of Rotary Club. To become a president of Rotary Club, you had to do a community service for 1.5 years. Ammuk Aditya, a boy from Bishop Cotton, this is last year, who got into Cornell for double major in math and economics. Of course, brilliant academics, you can see that. SAT was 1500, did 8 APs. So 4 APs he did before the college application, 4 more he did to thank his father. Okay, now that I have got these, let me help you save some of your fees. So did something in grade 12 because he's an ISC student. So got 1 year of full waiver from college. Now look at his extracurriculars. Leadership roles as president of MUN and debate clubs. Research paper I am going to talk about is No More Hungry Mouths Community Service Project, also we'll talk about here. And then some of these community service math and English mentor in a school. This was a double star mark in his application. Multivariable calculus and linear algebra course. You know, universities think how much will a student do? Math A, HL or AP calculus BC. He did calculus BC. After that, he took up the third semester course of math, which is the multivariable calculus course. Because he wanted to major in math. So he wanted to prove the college that look, I want to major in math, I am very passionate about it. I finished my calculus BC in May, and in the month of July, August, he did a 2-month online course which was offered by Stanford, which was on multivariable calculus and linear algebra. I think most of us engineers can relate to multivariable calculus if we remember our third semester course, right? Double integration. Okay. 2 very good summer programs, the Wharton Global Youth and Yale Young Global Scholars. Both of their acceptances are below 15-20%. So both were star mark in calculation. Couple of research projects, both on math, which got published as well. AP Scholar, Silver Medal, Best Speaker and all that. Harvard MIT Math Tournament. Now look at these Olympiads. Math. You know, syllabus is same for all these Olympiads. Why don't you just sit 2 hours on that day, same syllabus, and tell the college, oh, I want to major in math, and I have done every single math Olympiad that happens in this planet. Shows your passion. So some smart tricks we need to use also, right? Was awarded by Pradhan Mantri Bharat Puraskar. Okay, now Ammuk's was all about academics. You see Shaurya not being about academics, but he got Vanderbilt. Those of you who don't know about this is an Ivy Plus university. So you have Ivy Leagues and then next set of Ivy Leagues. So Vanderbilt is an Ivy Plus university. Only student from India who got economics program at Vanderbilt. Shaurya Jindal, GD Goenka International School, Surat, CBSE school. Okay, SAT 15-30, 4 APs. One of them he did in 12th. I think he had 4 APs when he applied to college. Head boy of the school. Research and publication. He did a self-published book. That was My Grandfather. That was the book he wrote, available on Amazon as well. What stood out was this, MUNs. This guy was doing MUNs for the past 6 years. And because of his MUNs, he was awarded a Guinness World Record holder longest speech relic. Very good at debates and MUNs. India Book of Records organized first sports MUN in India. Student of the Year, Best Speaker, Black Belt, Taekwondo. But this MUN stood out in his application. So, again guys, don't get too fascinated कि ये सब क्या-क्या दिखा रहे हैं. कुछ तो मतलब out of the world करना पड़ेगा. नहीं तो नहीं होगा. ऐसा नहीं है. We have taken the best profiles and they're showing, but ऐसा नहीं है कि look at the first profile that I showed, UCAT. Nothing was very out of the world. Good academics, 2 research paper, 15-20 SAT, 2 APs, Rotary Club से community service है, not UCAT. इसका थोड़ा था कि academics उतना नहीं था मतलब, but MUN बहुत strong था. And this guy hated math, but we forced him to do calculus BC because I knew that was a requirement for the college. And he never said no. ठीक है सर करेंगे, fine करते हैं. So that also, you know, helps. Okay, the last one on our list, Arjun Deshpande, Rockford's International Udaipur. Sub tier 2, tier 3 cities अगर आप देखें. A-level school. Just tell me, reading his profile, what major he would have applied for. So he got Brown, by the way, Brown University. What would have been his major?
Physics.
Physics. Astrophysics किसने बोला? Astrophysics. Astrophysics. Bachelor's in Astrophysics is what he applied for. And reading your profile, one should understand what you are applying for. That's what I am trying to tell. show your passion towards the subject that you want to pursue. This statistical analysis at U Chicago is research project. It's a competitive research program to get in. Okay? So got through this, and you may think, oh, these may cost a lot. Of course, these are a little expensive, but you get scholarships also. We got 100% aid for this program. We applied for the aid, and university was very generous to give 100% aid for the summer program, fully funded by U Chicago. Why he got through that? Because of his previous work that he had done in physics, which showed the college that this guy genuinely wants to come to our college and wants to do some of the research project that he wants to do. So this was one, and then the summer science program which I was talking about. If you guys go and Google summer science program, one of the most competitive research program to get in. So two he did. One was U Chicago and one was the summer science program. Both were excellent. Head boy of school. If you see, someone was talking about 9th grade. Okay, 7 A stars we had. 10th was 4 A star, 3 A, 1 B. ऐसा नहीं है to be a perfect 8 A star, 7 A star and all that. 3 A's, 1 B, 4 A star was okay. What highlighted was an excellent SAT score of 1570 with couple of research programs, one with U Chicago, one with summer science, head boy of school. There is more to that. Guitar, Trinity, grade 7, volunteered at this thing. Now look at the competition that I am talking about. Finalist in the International Astronomy and Astrophysics competition. Again, so this is a highlight competition. Finalist in the International Astronomy and Astrophysics means it's a double star mark in your application, right? Shows that you are very passionate to study astrophysics in college. Did these Coursera courses, Python for data science and all, which was required for the summer program. So this is what he had. So guys, 18 months, 24 months, some may have 9 months, some may have 36 months. Use the time wisely. The idea would be to ensure that we plan stuff, we are not falling behind, and try to help you, achieve your goals. Okay? So this is what we do. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you so much. Coming on a Ugadi. When we finalized it, we probably did not realize it's a Ugadi today, but we had finalized by then. So thank you so much for coming. I hope the session was useful and there were some takeaways for you. Any questions, guys, before we इसको क्या करना है वो करें? और I mean it's a very tough answer to give. Safety wise, you don't worry about all that. But whether you get into drugs, this, that, and all depends on that.
Even if our child is very good,
Then he'll be good.
are there any other ways of misleading them?
See, there are life skills also which are needed alongside the profile and everything. So we have to start preparing the child beforehand, that is to keep the house in row. Not much goes into it. Universities which we are catering, top 20, they are definitely safe within their campuses and conducting their regular monitoring.
See, don't unnecessarily put likes on social media, post against Trump. Be safe. So this is how you are safe by yourself. Okay? Don't message your friends about Trump. In airport, I know one of the student parent was saying, randomly they take the phone and on WhatsApp they are searching Trump. So, if you delete the message also, debug it. Delete क्यों किया? Trump, मतलब I don't know, there is software to track metas, deleted messages also. ये कुछ delete हुआ है Trump के बारे में. आप Trump से थोड़ा दूर रहे. आप Palestine and all those causes से थोड़ा अपना control करें. Please do not share your emotions on social media. You need to understand all of this. This is important. So we tell these kids, and they also know how the environment is. As long as you are minding your own work, not indulging. यहाँ मोदी के लिए आप कुछ भी बोलो, right in India. अब और every second discussion that we will have outside is about Modi. But you cannot have those discussions against Trump. Secondly, coming to, you may hear some gun shooting, yeah, guns are the appearance, right? See, the point is, मैं बोलता हूँ, US में कोई छींक नहीं मारता ना, पूरा वर्ल्ड में न्यूज़ होता है. अब कोई एक इंस्टेंस हो जाता है, then social media and all that thing happens. In India, it happens every time. In UP before Yogi, हर दिन तो कोई मारता था एक दूसरे को. But it was never a news because we got used to it. हाँ, मारेंगे, ठीक है, नहीं हुआ. But point is, be safe. You should not go out after 10. Now, please go drinking, drugs may involve नहीं हो during college. But it is purely on your child. If I give you an alternate answer, that's wrong. मुझे क्या पता आपका बच्चा वहाँ जाके क्या करेगा? So safety is in your hands. आप नहीं बिगड़ोगे तो आप नहीं बिगड़ोगे. But if your friend circle आपने ऐसा बना लिया, this year I have one father who refused to send his son. Good academics, everything good. He says, Abhishek, I know my son. I am not going to send father was very clear. Chance ही नहीं है. For masters I said everything was good. SAT was good, academic good, profile great हो गई US. He was horse riding. I don't know how to take it. Horse riding में number 1 India. You know profile इतना जबरदस्त था उसका. Research everything सब हो गया. Last minute father ने apply नहीं करने. बोला मैं चाहता हूँ मेरे बेटे को. I am not sending. And he had his reasons. कि यार यही पार्टी कर रहा है, यही नहीं आ रहा है घर पे 11 बजे 12 बजे, तो ये यूएस में तो फिर ये तो आई नॉट सेइंग वो आपको पता भी चल जाता है.
And we must understand children of 18 years उनको किस तरह से आपने इंडिया में रखा है, एक बार उनको बाहर जाके आजादी लगती है, छूट गए. So are they going with that mindset or they are actually understanding कि किस लिए जा रहे हैं? So many things depend upon the same thing.
So very safety is all okay, but as long as you are safe. जानबूझ के आप कुछ करने जाएंगे कुछ.
It varies from child to child.
I mean, if you want to go out of your house, तो आप इंडिया में भी बाहर भेजेंगे तो बच्चे.
India में safety है.
Anything else? For undergrad becomes more difficult in US universities. The only way to cut down on your fees is to get those credits and cut down on your fees. But one thing I tell you guys, you may have some perception. 4 years back, my son did not do this much. He got into this, the elder one. या पड़ोसी के बच्चे को 4 साल पहले तो बकरी आ गया था, उसने तो एग्री नहीं किया था. Things are changing. Look at the acceptance rates of the universities this year. How many of you are actually tracking this? Top 20 में किसी का भी डबल डिजिट भी नहीं है. 4% acceptance, 5% acceptance, 6%, 3%. These are the acceptance rates in these universities. Undergrad abroad is becoming, 5-10 years back, no one was going for undergrad. Very rare. Masters abroad. This has picked up a lot. 4-5% acceptance rates. आपको बेस्ट करना होगा प्रोफाइल, academics, SAT. You have to do everything properly to make sure you are in that 4%. But trust me, it's not difficult if someone actually wants to do this. And if you think it's difficult, please make your son or daughter sit in an IIT. 2 दिन भेज दीजिए, तो दौड़ के बोलेंगे यही ठीक है. Right? Just give them an experience of 2-3 days Allen coaching या आकाश coaching and 2-3 दिन भेज सकते हैं. So it's way more easier to get through our entrance. But one thing I tell every parent, do not send if it's not a top 30 course. That's what I believe today. Maybe different. It's not worth the money, the time, sending your child to that. If it's not a top college. But to get the top college, please give them the best. Classes चाहिए करो, research करना है करो, summer program करना है करो. This is what I would actually do. जो चाहिए करो, but make sure you get a top college. Sometimes you know what I feel. I just share my experience because I talk to so many parents. When I say sir your child is not scoring well in this subject, please इसका कुछ classes ले लीजिए. अभिषेक स्कूल को तो 12 लाख दिया है. You know, अभी मैं और क्यों दूँ 50,000, 60,000, 40,000. अभी तो स्कूल 12 लाख ले दिया, 20 लाख ले दिया. मैं इतना कितना दूँ? मैं आपको एक चीज बताता हूँ. Actually, where we are going wrong, if we have some budget in mind, our 80% budget goes in the school fees. पहले वो exhaust कर रहे हैं पूरा, you know. हर साल बढ़ाते जा रहे हैं, फिर अपने पास इतना बचता है और उसमें अब आपकी जो रिसर्च प्रोग्राम, समर प्रोग्राम सब कुछ कराना है, फिर कम ऑफ सम कॉस्ट है. सो या तो अगर वैसा है तो प्लान किया मुझे 12 लाख के स्कूल में नहीं भेजना, 6 में भेजना है. वो 2 सब्जेक्ट की ट्यूशन वैसे भी बाहर करें, चाहे वो उसमें जाए चाहे इसमें जाए, यू नो. सो जब वो करेगा तो फिर यार एटलीस्ट मैं वो सब तो करवाऊँ जो विच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. दिस इज व्हाट आई हैव फेस्ड. कभी भी हम कुछ बोलते हैं सर एक रिसर्च कर लिया. आई हैव अ पेरेंट, आई डोंट वांट टू नेम द बॉयज फ्रॉम मालयालम. वी सेंट इट टू एनयूएस सिंगापुर, केम अप विद दैट प्रोग्राम, वी डिड एन एआई प्रोग्राम देयर. आई टोल्ड सर मुझे रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट करना है, फॉलो अप. यू हैव लर्न एआई देयर, लेट्स डू एन एआई रिसर्च. अभिषेक हो गया बस 8-2 लाख लग गया, अब मेरा हो गया. अब तो मैं और 1.5 लाख 2 लाख लेने वाला भी दूसरा रिसर्च प्रोग्राम. मैं कह रहा हूँ सर प्रोफाइल स्टैंड नहीं करेगा, एक से कैसे होगा? एकेडमिक्स बहुत अच्छा है, 1500 एसएटी है, सब कुछ है. यानी सर प्रिंसिपल कह रहा है हमारे स्कूल का तो सबसे अच्छा बच्चा ही. एमआईटी में हम ईपी डालेंगे, मैं तो मेरे भगवान, यू नो, वी वांट टू डू दैट. यू नो वेयर ही एंड्स अप विद द रिस्पांस इन माइंड. दैट बॉय वुड हैव डिजर्व वन लेवल अप इन दैट कॉलेज लिस्ट. बट कहीं पीछे हट गए यार. या तो अभिषेक इसलिए बोल रहा है कि उसको कुछ मिलेगा वहां से. You know, you will always have that thing because after Byju's, everyone, you know, looks at a question mark. कुछ तो गड़बड़ कर रहे हैं, you know, कुछ तो इनका खुद का स्वार्थ होगा. See, if I have to take the fees, I have taken it from you. That's it. I don't want more than this. After that, it's our responsibility to make sure. तो अगेन द हाउस टेक, आपने आर्किटेक्ट को आपने इंटीरियर डिजाइनर रखा, उसको आपने पैसे दिए, भाई मेरा घर डिजाइन कर, अब वो अच्छे से डिजाइन करेगा होपफुली, यू नो, एंड he will get the best deals for you in terms of the products that you have to buy for your house and do the best design. So we are the designers and we will try to do the best. हमें और नहीं चाहिए कुछ चीजें से. So the same parent एक तरह छोड़ दिया, बस अभिषेक इतने में तो MIT आ रहे हैं. 15 में से 14 कॉलेज ले लेता है. और लास्ट में विस्कॉन्सिन मेडिसिन आया, we knew the child did not deserve Wisconsin. थोड़ा सा फादर सपोर्ट करता, दो चीजें हमने और करानी थी, पक्का एक लेवल कॉलेज में पढ़ा था. I can share what's our child. So that's different, right? So somewhere we feel, अगर आपका वैसा है ना तो भी डिस्कस कीजिए. I have some parents, I take it, वो ग्रीनवुड से शिफ्ट हो रहे हैं इस साल दूसरे स्कूल में. यानी 12 लाख लेकर 4 सब्जेक्ट की ट्यूशन तो पेस्ट में लगी है. तो हटाओ, मैं सामने वाले स्कूल में 6.5 लाख लग रहा है, 3 ही सब्जेक्ट की ट्यूशन तो बाहर ही करानी है. मैं दूसरी चीजों में, you know, I would like to invest. Now the girl has been enrolled in a TMUA UCAT research program from US. तो इट्स ओके, बोले यहाँ करूँगा ना, ये सब होगा. वो कहते हैं 12 लाख भी दे रहे हैं, 4 सब्जेक्ट की ट्यूशन भी करानी है, तो it doesn't make sense. तो अगर आपका वो प्लान है तो प्लीज डिस्कस, so that we know कि जो आपका बजट है, how we can use in a better way. Do not exhaust 80% in the school and then you do not do anything else. कि नहीं मुझे रिसर्च भी नहीं कराना, मुझे ये भी नहीं कराना, मुझे ये भी नहीं कराना, तो प्रोफाइल बनेगी, right? So that's what I wanted to have.
Something like the children who spectacular performance in their activities. हमें भी नहीं पता होता कि बच्चे का ये लेवल है. Like they are winning such competitions. They are.
So I know one student who got NUS letter of recommendation. मैं तो भेज रहा था ये सोच के कि तू सकेगा कि नहीं इस प्रोग्राम में. No, I had this thing. पता चला LOI उसको मिला है NUS की तरफ से. तो sometimes जब छोड़ते हैं ना तब पता चलता है कि एक्चुअली यार पोटेंशियल तो बहुत जबरदस्त है इस बच्चे का. We judge sometimes too early. या नहीं होना ऐसे, you know, we're not sure. But sometimes we realize एक बार छोड़ो तो देखते हो, you know, they end up there. So keep those things in mind. We can have that discussion so that you know that clarity.
It's the time to start letting the child explore. करने दो, आपको खुद हैरानी होगी कि कैसे करेगा.
रिसर्च पेपर पब्लिश होगा ना उसके नाम पे तो आपको बहुत प्राउड होगा कि वाह इंटरनेशनल पब्लिकेशन में मेरे बच्चे का रिसर्च पेपर आया और बहुत मेहनत लगती है उसकी. ये 8 महीने लग जाते हैं. बट यू नो लेट अस गेट वो करने देते हैं ताकि यू नो वी गेट द बेस्ट आउट. Right? So guys, we are around here. Thank you everyone. Let's catch up for high tea. This food, please everyone who have the food before you leave. And I'm here, Vinay is here, my team is here. Can I introduce my team to you? Jayant is here. Saloni. So Saloni so we have an office in Koramangala, right opposite the Forum Mall. I sit, my entire team sits there. Anytime you want to have a one-on-one discussion, please feel we can set up a time. So Saloni, my wife Ramita, who भी joined है, मैंने कहा ना family पूरी लग गई है. She's a dental surgeon by the way. She's a chartered accountant. But अब सब मेरे कॉस्ट को सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं. So yeah, this is all. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Thank you.